You can be surrounded by people, friends, family, co-workers, and still feel completely invisible. You smile in public, but cry in private. You talk, but no one really hears you. You lie in bed at night, staring at the ceiling, wondering if anyone would even notice if you disappeared. Let me tell you something that might surprise you. This feeling isn't just emotional, it's spiritual. Loneliness is one of the enemy's most dangerous weapons. He isolates you to make you feel abandoned, unwanted, unloved. Let's be honest, loneliness doesn't just hurt, it eats away at you. You can be in a room full of people and still feel like you're shouting into a void. Over time, you stop reaching out, you stop hoping, you even stop praying, because loneliness doesn't just affect your emotions. It attacks your identity. It makes you question your worth, your purpose, even your place in God's heart. That's exactly how the enemy wants it. Satan's strategy has always been the same: isolation before destruction. If he can get you alone in your thoughts, if he can pull you away from godly relationships, if he can convince you that even God is silent, then he can start planting lies like, you're not important, you're not loved, God left you a long time ago. And if you start believing those lies, the devil won't even have to destroy you. You'll start destroying yourself. But God, the one who made your soul, never designed you to walk through life alone. And when people fail you, he never will. Though my father and mother forsake me, the Lord will receive me. Psalm 27:10. Even if the people who should have loved you the most turned their backs on you, God says, I will receive you. He doesn't push you away. He opens his arms. It's Isaiah 49:15-16. Can a mother forget the baby at her breast? Though she may forget, I will not forget you. See, I have engraved you on the palms of my hands. God doesn't just remember you. He carries your name in his scars. There's a story about a man named Daniel, sitting alone in a prison cell, falsely accused, abandoned by friends, forgotten by the system. He said the worst part that wasn't the cold food or the concrete bed. It was the silence. Weeks passed, months, no letters, no visitors. One night, he looked up and screamed at the ceiling, God, have you forgotten me too? That night, a guard walked by and dropped something into his cell, a Bible. When Daniel opened it, the very first verse he read was Isaiah 49:16. I have engraved you on the palms of my hands. He broke. Tears hit the pages. That verse wasn't just ink anymore. It was a lifeline. Even in the loneliness of a prison cell, God remembered his name, and he remembers yours too. God is saying, you're not just remembered, you're engraved. I will not leave you as orphans. I will come to you. John 14:18. Jesus didn't die and disappear. He made a promise. I will come to you, not just in the future, but now, in your loneliness, in your lowest moments. He comes to be with you. The Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit. Psalm 34:18. God is not far. He draws near to the brokenhearted. He sits beside you when no one else sees your tears. Every time your heart broke quietly, he was there. Never will I leave you. Never will I forsake you. Hebrews 13:5. That's not a suggestion. That's a vow. You may feel alone, but you are never abandoned. Loneliness may be loud, but God speaks louder. He says, I see you. I know you. You are mine. You're not forgotten. You're called. And when you feel most alone, that's not the time to give up. It's the time to lean in. Open your Bible. Start with Psalm 139, a love letter to your soul. Then go to Psalm 91, a shelter for the broken, or Isaiah 43, where God says, when you pass through the waters, I will be with you. Pray honestly. Say, God, I feel invisible, but your word says you see me. Help me to feel you near. Fight this heaviness in me. Give me peace, even if nothing around me changes. Tell him what hurts and ask him to fill every empty space. Remember Elijah, the mighty prophet, who once called down fire from heaven? And yet, he reached a moment so low, he begged God to take his life. He hid in a cave, crushed by fear. Alone, but God didn't scold him. He whispered, not in the wind, not in the fire, not in the earthquake, but in the still, small voice. And in that whisper, God reminded Elijah, you're not alone. I still have a plan for you. And he's saying the same to you. If this message spoke to your heart, type, I'm not alone in the comments. Let this video be your reminder. You are not forgotten. You are not invisible. You are not doing life by yourself. And if you want more messages like this, straight from the Word of God, subscribe to Bible Undefeated, because every video is proof that God is still speaking and he hasn't left you.